Alright, everyone. We are making brackets today. We did this last year. We got to 300 brackets. I didn't really fill in on what exactly happened with that. However, I think we got all the way to the night games, the end of day one, and we just had 10 brackets left. And then Arkansas beat Kansas, which somehow I didn't have in any of them. Somehow, some way. And that's what ended it. It was a 7:35 game. I'm trying to get this stream. Make sure it's up. And I think it is. All right. So let's get this bracket. Let's get these brackets started. All right, yeah, we're good. All right. So far, last night I made 50 brackets. It took me longer than I thought. This is taking me longer than I've expected. But we gotta go make as many brackets as we can. We just gotta grind this out, make as many as we can. And I know I'm already feeling fatigued right now, but I know by Thursday it's gonna feel great when I have a good 400 brackets and the first game is starting. And the more brackets that I make, the higher chance that I go farther in the tournament. And I want to get past day one this year. That's the end goal. I'm kind of disappointed in last year because I'm going to start filling out some of these brackets. I was a little disappointed because it wasn't a heavy upset year and I still didn't really make it as far as I hoped. But that's how it is. I made 300 brackets last year. It took me a good long time. I think I remember the first day, which was the night that it came out. I made 35 brackets. I'm ahead of myself right now, but I made like 175 today. Last year, today. I mean, so yeah. But now I've made a 50 something. So I think I'm still ahead of the 8 ball. I just gotta get in the zone. I haven't gotten in the zone yet, and that's what I need to do. Got another all 1 seed Final Four here. I'll switch it to Michigan. So, how am I changing from last year? Of course, I want to make more, but is that going to be enough? Probably not. So you may be asking, how's it going to be different this year? I have a couple rules, maybe like two, not too heavy because I want to be able to get through these fast, and I don't have to think about got too many 12 seeds advancing, this, that, and the other. You know, so I want to have speed while also having some accuracy. So I have mainly two guidelines right now, and those two guidelines are basically that. So there's two statistics that I want to share. These are what I'm following my guidelines based off of, basically. So the stats are any team or any one seed in the top or with a high net rating higher than 35 is like undefeated in the first two games, which is the round of 64 and the round of 32. They've never lost. That's my first thing. So I have the Duke, Arizona, and Michigan making it past the first and second round. Not Florida, because they have 33.79. So I can have Florida here losing to Iowa, and I'd still say it's a valid bracket. And this next one, I think is going to change it way more. It's going to change the game way more for me. I think it's going to give me a lot of more points. Last year, I picked champions all across the board. I had some brackets with 6 seed champions. I had some brackets with, 5, 4, 3 seed champions. Right? But this year, I'm only allowed to have Duke, Arizona, and Michigan as champions. And you might ask why. That's because every year since 2014, the winner of March Madness has been in top 3 in KenPom, just overall KenPom rating. And those 3 teams are top 3. Am I running a risk? Yes, slightly. But I think these 1 seeds, I don't think it's going to happen this year. These 1 seeds are just too good for all of them to lose. A little upset there. So yeah, it has to be Michigan, Arizona, or Duke. That's what I would do. And that's what I would do if I were you in your brackets. If you want to make a lot of brackets, I would do one of those 3. So that is correct statistically. So like last year, I might have Houston winning in a couple of my brackets. Not this year. Not this year, because last year I had too many of random teams getting in a lot of my brackets. Like I'd have maybe one bracket with Maryland winning, which is like a 4 seed. I didn't need to do that. The off chance that Maryland wins, maybe Wisconsin, they were 6 seed. Missouri, But I'm starting to get in the zone a little bit right now. I'm starting to just kind of auto pick, which I don't want to completely auto pick. I want to put a little bit of thought into this, because if I auto pick, I could just use the ESPN feature to finish my bracket, which obviously I'm not going to do because it's not really going to be my bracket. It's just going to be a random ESPN bracket that technically is owned by me, but I didn't make it. South Florida will go on a run this one. Also, McNeese advancing. But Nebraska will knock them off. I want to see Penn more. I want Penn again. I'm predicting significantly less 14 seeds. Because I don't know, in the past whatever years, 14 seeds are like 30-2. 2 wins. Do the math, that's 8 years. Houston winning that. Alright, so basically the order of these games, I've been looking at this. It's always the AV9 is the first game, and then I think it's the 3 vs 14 right here is the second game. Wait, no, that's wrong. This is the second game. This gets me nervous right here because I have a lot of my brackets with Troy winning. Which is, I get it, it's risky, but sometimes you gotta take a risk. There we go, another bracket submitted. So I've made 57 brackets so far. That's not a lot for me. I'm trying to pump these out. I'm not trying to get past my normal pace right now. I'd like to create a solid, maybe over 100 brackets. By lunchtime, I want to have maybe 50 brackets done. That would be nice. I doubt I'll get there. So, maybe 30, 35 brackets. But I would be putting most of my weight later. I'd have to lock in later. But 150 brackets by the first 2 days. That's good. That's about where I want to be. I'll make another 100. I'll make another 100 tomorrow, which would be 250, and then the next day, which would be 350, and then another 50 on the morning before, which would be very hard. 50, and I'll wake up at like 9 that day. 50 brackets. I'll probably be a little distracted. But that's what kind of gets me motivated. And if you want to do this challenge, just know the most painful spot is naming all your brackets and putting them on the group. Putting them on the group is probably the most satisfying part. Another fresh batch of 25 brackets going into the group. That's very satisfying. Just you gotta always think to yourself mentally, because I did this last year. Mentally, I think to myself, this could be the one. This could be the one that gets me to day 2. I'm thinking that more right now, because I know how fast these brackets are gonna fall. Just like, this could be the bracket that sends me. This could be the bracket that goes the farthest. But usually I did the math. Last year, the average bracket that got me the farthest was in the later rounds, I guess. Or the later brackets. And it helps think yourself that, like when you're predicting second round or Sweet 16 games, this is probably not going to matter in terms of having a perfect bracket for the longest time. Like here, like who I pick here is it's not gonna matter. This bracket's gonna be busted by then. We'll go Arizona in this one. 9. We're about to hit 60 brackets, and it is 10:49 Eastern time. I like that. Also no 15 or 15 over 2 is winning. I debated having no 14 over 3s too, but I feel like it's a little risky. Like a fourth chance that all my brackets are busted. I don't want to take that shot. That'd be very upsetting. If like the second game or the third, fourth game, like a 16 wins a 1. Like that's the danger of doing this. Because you end up finding yourself not cheering for a 16 to beat a 1. Which, I mean, it's... Because then every single one of your bracket is done and all this is for nothing. Like, And I never really had to sweat through a 16 seed over a 1 last year, or even a 15 over a 2, which I believe I had some brackets with 15s over 2s, which, that wasn't my best. Okay, it's a long journey. I forgot how long this really took. More chaos bracket here. This takes such a long time. Oh. Just like that, 60 brackets. Yeah, you just got to get in the mental zone here. There. I just got to have that mindset through this whole week. Just this could be the bracket. This could be the bracket. And never change. Like this right here. By picking Texas and NC State, that could be one of the brackets that at least keeps me alive. Just gonna test chat real quick. See if it works. I guess I can't see it. But I'll keep checking chat. Maybe it'll appear. Alright, so yeah, I can see. I can check it. That's nice. I can check what my chat is saying. I don't know how much I'm going to be streaming. This is definitely helping me, rather than just sitting in silence. I want to pick Penn over Illinois, because I saw them play in the Ivy League Championship, beat Yale. I saw this random guy just go off for 44 points. It was a white guy. He shot like 50% from 3. He shot a game-winning 3 for them to send it to overtime. And they're good shooting out. Illinois is not a good defensive team. I feel like this is a good matchup for them. But I don't know if I want to pick a 15 over 3. It just feels like it's not going to happen. Because I only just watched one game of Penn. And they have like 11 losses. I'm probably not going to pick them in my name bracket. I already did, but I probably just am going to change it. Gosh. This takes a long time. Like, think about it. You're literally picking every single game. I need to stop instinctively picking Troy over Nebraska. I don't know why I keep doing that. Because when Selection Sunday comes, it's going to be Nebraska beats Troy. Maybe by a long shot. Maybe Troy will beat Nebraska. I don't know. It's not a bad matchup for Troy. Pretty sure they can shoot. Nebraska struggles guarding the 3-point line. Oh my gosh. Another all one seeds. Final four. 12, 62 brackets. I just gotta think of the relief that will just give off. Okay, I need to pick Cal Baptist in some of these because I've not picked them at all. Barely picked them. Cal Baptist pulled up some miracle of an upset. I'm gonna be cooked, but so is like everybody else, so I'll be fine. I hope that if there's an upset, it has to happen early. Because that means not all my brackets are going to be done, unless it's a 15 over 2 or 16 over 1. Not all my brackets are going to be done. Only some of them. Dude, I have a weird feeling. I don't think BYU is going to make it. I just don't think they will. Alright, Nebraska. Check. Just gotta make sure I'm picking them. Gotta keep pumping them out. Making 400 brackets. Up to bracket number 60, 63? 64? I don't know. Gosh. St. John's there. St. John's there. UConn. St. John's. I can't have like a 6 seed going to the Final Four, though. That's the rule. I can have a 5 seed like St. John's. Because it gets kind of realistic, but, you know. I feel like if I had to predict, depends how many brackets I finish with, because it's very likely the number 400 is not going to be that many brackets I finish. It's either going to be less or more. I'd like to say more. You just never know, though. I don't know if I want to injure myself in all those random stuff. But you know what? It's worth a try. Oh. Oh my gosh, I just realized I just like auto-filled the last three brackets. Wasn't even thinking. Oh my goodness. Oh. 17 out of 25. 67 brackets. Ah. There we go. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good right now. I feel like I'm tired of making brackets, but I'm so determined to get 400 that like there's no way that I'd quit right now. Like there's like no way that I even go to lunch right now. Probably gonna end stream after we complete these 25 and continue doing some brackets until 12. Go eat lunch. Maybe take a small break if I can even get myself to take a break. Kennesaw winning that, you never know. I have two brackets with Kennesaw winning. I need to get more. I'm gonna get that. Boom, bam, boom. Alright. So, this was the game last year. It was Kansas, Arkansas, and I did not like Arkansas at all because they had my favorite team, South Carolina. We sucked that year. We beat them once, and we played them in the SEC tourney, and we almost beat them again. Now, I thought to myself, any team that almost loses to us, there's no way that they do anything in the tourney. There's just no way. Sure, I'm going to pick them in like 25% of my brackets, but I highly doubt that they'll do anything. And that's where I was wrong. That's what I regret the most. On my lunch break, I might do my dog bracket too. I've done this. I did this last year, and I've done a dog bracket, I think, every year, but I haven't been able to find the one that I did in 2024. However, in 2023, I just did based off the mascot, which one had the dog mascot, and that was the year of UConn and Chaos. So while it wasn't like an insane bracket points wise, I think it like had 1,000 points, which is not insane. It was still the 99th percentile because nobody had UConn winning, even though it was kind of obvious because they were top three in KenPom. They were a 4 seed. They were like the number one. Anybody that took a glance at analytics that year could have predicted, oh, I should probably have UConn winning in a lot of my brackets, and if I don't, I'm stupid. Okay. There's my dog right there, barking. But last year I did differently, where she actually had a choice, and I got her to chase 2 tennis balls, and whichever one she picked won that game. And I don't know if you'll believe this if I told you that she picked Florida to win the national championship. I did help a little bit having one seed to get past the first round automatically and 2 seeds, but that's not like a lot. It's barely anything. It's just maybe a little bit of a boost. You'd think. Yeah, she had UC San Diego in her Final Four. She had Houston playing Florida in the national championship, which did happen. UC San Diego lost in the first round. She had Oregon in the Final Four. Oregon lost in the second round, I think. Boom. There's that region. The South, dude. This South region, not a great region for Florida. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't think Florida got a good draw. I think they got a bad draw. Vanderbilt right on their doorstep. The 8 and 9 seeds are pretty easy. But once they get to Sweet 16, Vandy, they lost to by 20 points. You have your 2 and 3 seed. Houston might be the best 2 seed. The 2 seeds are pretty good this year, though. Illinois, they have a great offense. They number one offense in the nation. So we'll go Illinois. But yeah, I'm doing this a little differently from what I did last year in a different way. Because I did the full first round last year. And first I did the first round, and then I did the second round and then Sweet 16. But now I'm just doing it by region. I feel like it's easier there by doing that. 21 brackets. 4 more. Until we can add a new batch of brackets. But I have to number them. I have to name them. It's going to be annoying. I just gotta push myself. I have to have a schedule. Alright, I'm gonna do this many brackets. Because if I didn't just set the schedule like 30 minutes ago, I probably would have just stopped making brackets and got lunch. Took a 30-minute to an hour break. I'm probably just gonna chill, make as many brackets as I can for the next however many minutes I have until 12. That's gonna be my schedule for every day. We'll see how many I pump out today. Because I'll be at 50. Wow, I could probably pump out 150 or maybe 125. Probably might go for 125 today instead of maybe lighten the load a bit. Maybe you can get to 500 brackets. This is hard. This is a hard, very hard. Like, this is where you gotta pump it out. This isn't gonna be the hardest day either. The hardest day is like probably Wednesday. Wednesday's probably the hardest day. Maybe Tuesday. But today is also pretty hard. They're all hard in different ways. Wednesday, you've already made hundreds of brackets. You feel like you've done every single combination there is. Holy cow. You think you've done every single combination there is. Sure, you have a bunch of brackets, but it's just I don't want to do this. I don't want to do more of this. Come on. But today's like I don't want to do all this. Like at least Wednesday and like Tuesday, you're motivated because you've already done hundreds of a couple, maybe 100 brackets. Like I hope I can wake up with a grand total of 200 brackets tomorrow. Literally, like that would be amazing. I think if I lock in, I can. I'm like 50 here, and then I could make another 50 after lunch until like 4. Maybe take another small break, make another 25 before dinner, and then after dinner, or maybe just make all 50 after dinner. I feel like 150 would be doable by the end of the day. Easier said than done, though. Way easier said than done, honestly. Another bracket. But realistically, I'll probably finish with like 100, 125. It just depends how motivated I am by the end of the day. So I could be like this and motivated right now to make brackets, but you just don't know, right? That's it. 25. Oh, 3 days exactly. This time in 3 days, I will be frantically pumping out brackets. There's no way that I get in like an even 400. There's no way. I will be just. That could be the one. This could be the one. This could be the one. It starts I'm gonna need as many to survive to the first like 3 games. This is the hardest part. Or this is one of the most tedious parts. Just imagine doing this. Imagine having to do this, right? Ugh. $59. Ugh, we're so close from adding another 25 brackets. I'm gonna do bracket 67-1. That'd be insane. Oh my gosh. Just 3 more brackets left to name. There it is. All 75. What the heck? What are these? The celebrity brackets? This guy got Miami winning it? What? Louisville and Miami? Then. Alright. Well, we'll see what happens comes April. Alright. It baffles me that most people have Duke winning. Look at it going up. Look at it just steadily. Look at that. That's a new feature. I like that feature. Anyways, I'm gonna have to end stream now, because the bracket thing requires a code, and I don't want to leak the code of the bracket thingy. I know no one's watching this, but just in case. So I'm gonna end stream. I'm probably gonna make a couple brackets after this. Do lunch. Make a couple brackets after. I might stream later today. I might stream just tomorrow. I don't know. It just depends when I'm feeling it. But 75 brackets. Looking in good shape. I want to be at least 150 by the end of the day. 250 would be insane, but 150 is probably where it's going to be at. Or, wait, no, 200 would be insane. 150 is probably where it's going to be at. So, yeah. I think it's doable. I think I'm on a pretty good track right now, but